Hello, everybody.
I think you're there for a little premature on that.
I don't think so.
Hello, everybody.
It says you're live. That means
when you're fighting to save America's
now
family
we're
farms,
live.
every decision counts.
Well, good evening. It has been a pretty eventful day.
See a lot
good.
of old
That's why
viewers, a lot of new viewers. So thank you both for jumping on tonight. We've had a very exciting afternoon.
Well, should I say hello to some folks? I'm sorry, I thought I was going to be ready. All right. Hello, Miss Rebecca, Miss Kim, Miss Angela. Miss Angela's like a champ today. She's watched like every video we had.
Binge watched us.
Glenda Cajun Homesteader, Kim, Fancy Farmer, Diane Justice Acres, Miss Sherry, Nancy, Southern Bless, Grammy Karen. How are you? Separate Seven, the Banks, Penny Lynn, Connie and Justin's, Sarah, Craig. I can't name them all. Big Dave, Darlene, Donna, Sean in Alaska, Leroy. Thank y'all all. Now, if I miss you, Sue, I see a few Sues. Emily, how are you? If I miss you, I'm so sorry. I'm trying. We're a little late. Donna, Gail, thank y'all so much for coming on.
Yep.
I can't do that again. I know I missed several of you. I'm sorry. Hey, Evans family, how are y'all? So, what videos do we have this week? We've had a lot of videos come out, so we need to know what we even posted.
You're the editor there, boy.
I don't even know what I posted this
week. It has been that kind of week, y'all, for real.
That kind of week. So, of course, as you saw, we are building the Fortress of Solitude for the chickens. It is going to be Camp Alcatraz. So we're gonna get that finished and get them out of our garage. But we did lose a lot. I could have killed the rest of the chickens because they got all in our beds and tore them up. So between the chickens that we lost and the chickens I'm going to kill, we have no chickens. Do it again.
Is that why you looked at my belly?
What?
It was like, woo. I thought that's why you were looking at it.
No, I'm stretching my arm. The Fortress. I know, Sean. Last I'm telling you. So we had several chickens get out. These are our bigger layers, the ones that get on my nerves the most. That's my egg layers from their fortress, and they tore up our fall beds.
The lettuces, the broccolis, the onions.
I thought about just making chicken and dumplings.
We talked about that last week.
We did. But tomorrow you'll see the video where we're actually getting it all replanted. So then we lost the chickens, of course. So that's why we're building this big monster. I think everybody liked the pink 2x4s.
Well, you know the thing that Colby thinks that maybe something got them. I personally think that they were escaping somehow because we never saw evidence of a dead chicken inside or outside, and there were no feathers or anything like that. So I think. And we all walked around in there and examined everywhere, like if they're getting out, where are they getting out at? But there was never any evidence of them dead either. They're just missing. So
I think there was a raccoon party.
We went, yeah, but I mean, a raccoon.
Hey, Lynn.
When a raccoon grabs them, there's going to be feathers flying everywhere. Anyway, we went from like 30 to like 20, and then we went from like 20 down to like 12. That's where we're at now, isn't it? Down to like 12.
Cody's couldn't have got where they were. It's going to be some small animal.
Something's getting in there.
The Banks Homestead suggestions for chickens. We like if you're looking for colored eggs like blues and greens, Americana, Easter egger, olive eggers is what we have. If you're looking for brown, we had Golden Six Lengths, Australorps, Orpingtons. Barred Rock is my favorite brown egg layer. Jersey Giants, Isa Browns. So all those are pretty good layers. Wyandottes a good layer, so I think that'd be good. See, I think it was a snake. That's what I really thought it was.
But I was like, I could get that if.
Hey, Stacy.
We would come up. It would be like several at a time. So I'm thinking, how could a snake eat that many of that size chicken at one time?
Hey, Drops.
Because we would go out there and it would be like
I think it's a snake.
A handful or more gone at a time.
Because rodents, if any rodents, from skunks to raccoons to possums to any kind of rodent that gets them, they usually rip their heads off, or it's more just a game to them. The reason they were all gone, I think it was a snake. I might be wrong. And
but
again,
how can a snake eat? I mean, they're probably like this big.
No, not the white ones. The white and black ones were tiny. Remember, all the big ones are there. It's just the small white ones.
No, but we lost a lot of those big ones too.
Oh, we did, but we lost way more of the little ones than anything.
Yeah, it was weird. We don't know what's going on. I still feel like they were getting out somewhere. Whether it was they were wiggling through the looser sides of the feet. I don't know.
I don't think there's.
But it was really weird. We went from
ferrets.
30-ish down to just. I mean, we're down to a handful.
We're down to 11 now. We do have.
I thought it was 12.
It's 11. I actually counted wrong. Now we do have. I mean, we have another 20 layers that's laying now, but this was our secondary set that's kind of was supposed to be taking their places. So we've really got to start adding back. It couldn't have been a hawk because it is a covered place, and they're only missing at night.
Yeah, the hawk would have to fly. If here's the gate and here's the top, it would have to like fly in and down,
and then set and grab and come back out, which is not typical for birds of prey. So I don't think it was any kind of birds of prey where they're at.
We do still have the gator,
but not anywhere close.
That we have baby. They're like super small, but they're not. I mean, that would be like a huge traveling.
Hey Sandy, how are you?
We've pondered so much stuff, and we just can't come up with a.
We don't have meat. I've never seen a mink here either. So they like your milk glass behind.
Thank you. That was Colby's grandmother's, and it's
very old.
It is very old, but it's very special to us because his grandmother is not with us anymore. So,
so past the chicken issue. So
on a good note.
So. Few things. We finally got the raised beds planted, so they're looking good. You'll see the video on that tomorrow. We've got some cattle moving to some new fields, so that's really cool too to see. We need all of that hard fertilization. Work. I know all the fence is done, like you saw in the last video. The fence is done, so that's a benefit. What else? Turkeys. 3 of them are fisting to have a. They're not going to be pardoned. They're gonna.
We're going to have a funeral for them next week.
That's right. So we're going to be enjoying their presence inside. So so we're going to be taking a few of those to process, or we're going to be processing a few of those this weekend for Thanksgiving.
Yep. So we're excited.
We got to eat our ham too, so it's going to be really cool. Really, really cool.
Yep.
So what else has happened this week before we start talking about all the other events we got going on?
Well, besides Jennings being a total.
Hey, we got more toothbrushes in the toilet today. So now we're down to we just use our fingers now.
Thankfully,
we use our fingers.
Thankfully, Colby has bought several extra cases for us. And I have put
for
those.
Prepping, and now we have none in the prepper. So I'm telling you, we're using our fingers now.
So we've taken those and we've been using all of those because he has bought like packs of extra that we put back in our larder. And
I have to wipe it up. I'm sorry.
Colby's making messes over here.
No, I didn't make messes.
Oh, is it just sticky?
Someone didn't wipe it.
So anyway, we have been pulling all of those toothbrushes out because Jennings is like on this tear with putting stuff in the toilet. And it's like when I'm in the kitchen, like if I'm cooking or like if I'm in the bathroom, or like he'll run to different bathrooms and he's just like, I don't know.
So now we're going to build a fortress of solitude for our toothbrushes too.
Colby said you're going to have to either lock them in the safe or put a lock on the toilet one.
Yeah.
Because we have literally went through 2 packs.
10. Yeah.
I mean, you have to remember we're a family of 7. So he took 4 one time and 3 the next time. So that was all of our toothbrushes, and he has done this multiple times. So,
hey, she said, Meemaw said, crack me up with your son. Yeah, I know. I told y'all in the comments, if y'all read them, anytime he does something bad, he's my son. Anytime he does something good or he's cute, he's her son. So.
Every time he does something bad, I tell him, your son,
your children didn't do good in homeschooling today. Your son forgot to feed the dogs. That's usually what I get. But when they do good, it's like my son did this.
Our children.
Our children did this. Hey, Jeff, welcome. Thank you for coming to the Max. We try to be not boring.
So other than Jennings just being like on a total toilet tear, that's
toilet tear.
That was
what alliteration. That was good.
Hey, if y'all see a video coming up that says total toilet tear, then y'all know that Jennings is not off his toilet tear yet. I mean, he wants to put everything in the toilet. I don't know. It blows my mind.
Except for urination. I mean, he wants to do that still on the floor and outside.
He wants to go outside. Actually, when we were going on our trip, Colby's mother had taken the kids to some of their cousins' games.
Hey, Larry.
They're having like some t-ball games and stuff. And
hey, homesteading,
and his sister sent me a picture of Jennings standing in
what's up?
In the middle of a crowd with his pants down, and he was using
that was her son. Her son did that, not me.
I said, that's totally my fault. Like, I did not train him to the bathroom when he has to go to the bathroom. I'm like, come on, let's go outside. So that was like totally my fault. But I think it really embarrassed his mama because she was like, he just whipped it out in front of everybody. I was like,
I think we're going to buy him like his own personal porta potty outside. Because he'd rather go outside. He'll say he's got to use the restroom, and then you run to the bathroom. He's like, no, outside.
Outside. That's what he wants. And then that's totally my fault. So.
Hey, Betty, how are you?
I think it really embarrassed his mom, though, because he's like standing in the middle of like all these people
crowd.
watching. I mean, they're all watching the baseball game, and he just pulls his pants down and
so
lets it go.
They quit watching the baseball game and watch my kid peeing now. So he's just standing there in front of everybody.
Yep, that was totally my fault.
So it was her son that time. Oh goodness! It doesn't matter when we're at home. I really don't care. It's
homesteading, grading, business, and life. And I also saw the Stivers jump on. So welcome all of you guys who jumped on since we said hello.
I know I said hello. You just weren't paying attention.
Oh well, I've been talking on that.
Hey, Rustic Traditions, how are you? So, on top of all that going on, we have 2 pigs that have not had piglets yet. So it looks like we're going to be having some more bacon and sausage very, very soon.
And I'm really bummed out. I really am. I really wanted them to have babies.
I did too. So we've been looking for another board just in case to give them one last hope. One last hope.
Well, he has been. I don't. Yeah, I'm like if they're not going to have babies, I'm kind of like ready to be done with them. But I really am bummed because I really did want them to have babies.
Yeah, and we needed that feeder pig to keep on going. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to try to pick up a few more feeders. Now, we have our American guinea hog. They're rolling. They're doing great. Phenomenal. But they are slow growth. So we're trying to get another fast growing hog to where we have 2 sets of hogs growing at the same time.
Well, and the meat quality is very different as well. So.
But not only that, like Misty said, they're both so different. So we look at our feeders as our meat and provisions for other something popped up on our screen. Sorry, guys. And provisions for other people to buy our hogs. So it allows them to buy it at butcher, so they're getting a processed hog from us. But our American guinea hogs, we sell as piglets, as y'all have seen. So it works out really well that way. Stivers, yeah, man, I like that. We can do the pig swap. We like the little pig. So you can bring the pig with us. You got to come to Brookhaven this time in Mississippi.
You bring your pig, and we have our little lambs. Hopefully, little lambs will be here. Hopefully, they'll be here soon.
I'm hoping they'll be here in January.
They're really widening out, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I went back and watched our video when we first got the lambs. You realize how much bigger they are. Yeah, because they were so tiny then.
I mean, they are really going this way. Like, I feel like we kind of walk the same now. So, I think I'm going to beat them, though.
I think you are, too.
I don't know. We'll see. It'll be cute. It'll be interesting to see who delivers first, the sheep or me.
Well, thank y'all for the ones that's saying y'all enjoyed watching us. It does mean a lot.
It means a whole lot to us.
Again, to the Stivers and Stive Tribe, thank y'all so very much. Miss Betty, thank you for coming on. So now, let's talk about bringing it up to date. So as we've been talking about pigs and cattle and our meat sustainability, we're getting a little low on our chicken, and then our beef started going kind of low too. So it's just like, man, what are we going to do?
Not like the steaks and the round steaks and stuff like that, but really like our ground beef.
Yeah,
right, like our ground beef.
So we kind of hit this roadblock where all our beef cows this year dropped heifers, dropped girl cows, which is great if you're a cow-calf operation. But with us, that takes our 2020.
Thank you, Angela. We appreciate
our 2020 and our 2021 first 2021 meat away. So we were looking, oh gosh, we've got to fit in extra beef because ultimately, all the calves that we had for the 2019 season were all heifers. So we were thinking, oh gosh, what are we going to do? We hadn't got used to buying meat again, so we were thinking we've got to have hamburger meat. So we talked a few weeks ago. We have plenty of pork. It's running out of our yin yang, but we said there's got to be a way.
Full of just pork.
Oh gosh, it's probably freezer and a half now, and then we have 2 more we're fixing to butcher. But we said, what are we going to do? We're to a point where we're fixing to butcher turkeys, which is awesome. We have tons of pork, but we're really lacking on our beef. So we really kind of said last week, hey, we need to harvest some deer. I mean, one good thing about us being a homestead and homesteaders, just where we have our summer paddock for our cattle is our deer paddock for the winter. So that's why we call it the deer paddock. If you watch old videos, we call it the deer paddock. What that is
actually,
that's our
you
deer
have
plot.
a video when you're out there
with deer
deer out there.
So that's
we were talking about just a few weeks ago the deer, something, I think it was deer that was nibbling on the broccoli.
Right.
So we were talking about the deer in the garden.
We have one property that deer is here. I mean, they really like this property. It's not, you don't have big monster antler deer here, but you have more, just tons of does. Mm-hmm. Hey Terry, so we really said, okay, this year we've got to drop, no doubt, 2 to 3 deer to keep our hamburger meat, our beef going, which is not beef, but just our red meat for.
But foods. 2 years, for the past 2 years, it's really been the reason why we talked about this so much is because for the past 2 years, either nothing would come out or the things that would come out were not really worth taking.
Hey, Carol.
So for 2 years, we've not had any deer.
Yeah, and so we've kind of been on this lull. We killed 3 years ago. I killed a nice buck. We again, like Misty said, we've seen deer, but none of them just really good quality. It wasn't worth it, to be honest with you. So, anyways, we just said no matter what, this year we've got to kill some deer. So the blessing is we're on our homestead. We're able to hunt our homestead. So Aiden, I saw we were driving through last night, and I said, Aiden, it's 5 o'clock, and there's deer out in the plot. I mean, yesterday, beautiful deer. I said, I can't tell. I said, the one's a little spiked, but I said, one's a big doe. I said, I think that they'll be back because they've been there for the last 2 or 3 nights.
Oh, yeah, there's prints everywhere.
Hey, Marge. So here we are. We're like, okay, what do we got to hunt. So I told Aiden this morning, I said, hey, run out there, change out the blind or check the blind, make sure the blind's okay because we blind hunt out there. And it's falling to pieces. It's like cut up, weather's beat it up. And he called me, said, hey, two family. He called me, said, hey, look, this blind is terrible, and we don't have time to set this other one up. I said, well, we're going to have to go with it like it is. So I said, just put a chair in there. I said, we got to go hunt tonight because we have too much other stuff going on this week. So we were able to go hunt this afternoon. First hunt. Now, we've always seen deer, like I said, but sometimes it's usually a pair, like a mother and fawn, or just a spotted, doe. I mean, just young deer. So we sat there, and it was about 5 o'clock, and I said, well, here, they're going to start coming out because this is what time they usually come out here. So we saw one in the woods, and she jolted through, and I said, oh, man, something spooked them. They're not coming out. So then 2 walk out to the very far side. I can feel Aiden. Aiden's like shaking over here. He's like shaking the whole blind. I'm like, Aiden, you got to calm down. Calm down. I said, they need to come this way because where we were, we couldn't shoot that angle. So he's so nervous. His gun's shaking. He's like sitting there like this. And so I said, just give me the gun. I said, I'll take the gun. You can just calm down. So he could never get a shot. So he said, you just take you take the shot. And I knew he wanted to take the shot. So I said, well, look, let's just give him a little bit more time. Let him come this way. And so anyways, 5 more came out right behind him and pushed them 2 in front of us. So one of them was the biggest doe. And so they walked right on in. Aiden was shaking like crazy, but he got a shot off and was able to harvest that deer. So it worked out really good. So now it's the start of just another good 150 pounds, probably of processed meat, if not a little bit more, going in the freezer.
So we were very thankful for that because that's where we were lacking. And we have not been able to really catch up on that ground meat because the 2 years previous, like we mentioned, we had not gotten anything. So we were very, very thrilled and excited for Aiden because he hasn't, I mean, he hasn't killed the deer, like he's gone with Colby, but
he killed one 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though. He hasn't killed one in that amount of time.
Yeah.
Because when y'all would go, Colby won't let him just shoot anything. So he was excited, and we were proud for him.
We really try to do quality management here. So a few comments, Emily. We had some CWD. Not in our area as much as on the river delta and on the Mississippi River, and even in what we call the Pine region of Mississippi. There was some CWD,
would have been like 3 or 4 hours north of us,
or even closer to the river where we're not at. They had a lot of issues on the river, but we didn't have any CWD here. We had one case maybe that was not even right close. That was a little bit further away in a different county. So no problem. And this was the healthiest doe.
She was beautiful.
That was too many does. I mean, 7 does is too many. So I told Aiden, let's harvest some does now before the rut comes in, before the bucks start moving in. So we were able to. So we're blessed to have that. So
yes,
Aiden did a good job. Kudos to him. And it's been a long night, but hey, we're caught up and got that going on.
Colby handled all the deer stuff, and I took all the kids to church. So
yeah, so God always does provide. So that's really good. And
someone had asked a question about a
Kombucha,
video.
did you see that?
Yes, I actually recorded some of my bottle and kombucha today. But I do have kombucha videos. We love kombucha. We drink at least a cup of kombucha every day. And somebody asked about homesteading videos geared towards the kitchen. I do have several videos of recipes cooking in the kitchen.
Eat that pound cake. Make that pound
cake, homemade buns.
Let's see.
Kombucha, which is of course in the kitchen.
The noodle sausage dish. That was really
I
good
have a
too.
recipe that I put out with my brain just went blank.
The Yarny Zebra and stuff. How are y'all? Sweet Pea, how are y'all?
What is it called when you do group collaboration? My brain just went dead.
So there are some good videos. Misty does stuff in the kitchen, but if you notice a lot of her videos, there's kids running and screaming and all that. So sometimes
I don't escape the kids. So he really does more of the recording, and he'll come in the kitchen sometimes, like when we're making our homemade meals and stuff like that. But it really is hard for me because when I set up, I have to go around to everybody and either give them something to entertain them or have a talk to them about, listen, if this, turn this on, you have to be quiet, blah, 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 blah.
We're going to lock them in the chicken coop too.
I don't know if the chickens or the kids would hate it more.
I know. We did
creamy spinach and sausage, and that is so good. Thank you, Grammy Karen.
Easy. It is.
Yes, it is really easy too, but it is really good too.
Yes, the Scobies. I see some people talk about the kombucha and Scoby. So we
have elderberry today.
Yes.
Very good.
Elderberry and kombucha and raw milk are probably 3 of our go-to staples daily for just about every part of our family.
Yep.
So, and we feed the extra Scobies and kind of the junk stuff to the pigs and the chickens.
And
too.
I've been giving a lot of my Scobies away to local people in our community that have shown interest in kombucha because they're free for us. I mean, they form their own Scoby hotel, and I like to kind of keep the Scoby hotel a little bit smaller because it ferments so fast if you don't. So I have actually been giving some of those away to our local community people that have shown interest in that. So we love our kombucha. We love our elderberry syrup.
Our cabin in the woods, Henry's Honeys. We don't can any of our meat. We've talked about it, but we just don't like to can unless we have to. We go back and forth. Some days we're like, okay, we're gonna can, and then other ones like, nah, we're not gonna can. So we just have a lot of freezers.
It's a skill that we will eventually learn
and be better at. We're so up and down with it. I guess that's what I'm saying.
But it would be nice to have that preserved food for emergency situations.
Two things. Henry's Honeys, we do some dehydrating. We have an Excalibur dehydrator.
And I love mine.
And we utilize it a lot, especially with our herbs, with our peppers. We have a red pepper flake, which is the bomb, a jalapeno flake, which is the bomb. And then we've done some fruit and things like that. Big Dave, a Scoby is basically what is that? It's a big
symbiotic.
Booger.
It stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast.
Basically, it's the boogery looking thing in your kombucha. So your kombucha makes it really feeds your kombucha. That's
right.
Really
so a SCOBY is bacteria and yeast, and you put it in a brewing vessel. I use a glass jar, and I feed it with sweet tea. The sweet tea, the sugar gets used from the sweet tea by the SCOBY. So the bacteria and the yeast eat the sugar and ferments the tea over days. And then that leaves you with what's called kombucha. And I have a video that teaches a lot about kombucha, how to make kombucha, how to make your own SCOBY. I made my own SCOBY last year, and we have been drinking kombucha ever since.
Yep.
And I will have to say that this has been the healthiest
our family's ever been.
Absolutely. I know of 2 sicknesses the earlier part of this year, within a year that we've had. Previous to that, we stayed sick.
Yep.
Elderberry syrup would help, but we weren't daily drinkers of that every single day because it's so expensive. What kind of sugar do you use? That is a very good question.
Organic,
I do not use white sugar. Yep. Organic sugar in the raw, cane sugar, any of your brown, chunky.
Look for fair trade sugar too. Be careful on where your sugar's coming from. Make sure you're getting good quality sugar from a good quality sugar provider.
Can you make decaffeinated kombucha? Yes.
Yes.
Any kind of black tea, green tea.
We mix green and black tea.
I do half and half. Green tea might not taste as lovely as black tea does, but the quality, the health benefits that you're getting from green tea is very, very, very good. And if you don't know anything about green tea or kombucha, I suggest you go to Mr. Google Pants, as Justin would say, and type in kombucha, and you can read there's so many health benefits to drinking kombucha.
Sarah started, what peppers do we use for the red pepper flakes? We use red bells.
It on everything.
I put it on every piece of food that I have. I love pepper. Red pepper, we use red bells, cayenne. We use a paprika, and there's another hot red pepper, chili.
I was reading.
I think it's chili or habanero. Habanero, I think. And so what we do is then we turn around, put them all together. We cut them up on in our dehydrator in just circles, basically. Put them in there, dehydrate them good, crank them through our what's that thing called?
It's like a pepper shelf grinder.
Yeah, it's like an herb grinder, basically. You can take they make coffee grinders for herbs too. And there you go. Yep. I put it on everything.
I have never made elderberry kombucha, but that's a good idea. I should try that because I found a bag in the bottom of our freezer.
I told you I thought we had some
of elderberries that we picked from the woods last year. It's like a gallon-sized bag. Too.
I told you we had more. You just didn't listen.
Well, it somehow got shoved in the very bottom under everything. I also read that somebody asked for my due date, and y'all know we're missing probably some comments, so I apologize about that. But somebody asked my due date. December the 28th is my due date. So we're looking around Christmas week for baby Livy to make her arrival.
Susan Judd, you're from California. You've never heard of kombucha. Wow. That's kind of where GT Daves, I think, kind of started that. So kombucha.
Maybe, but he definitely has a big, huge brand.
Yeah, definitely. Silly question. What is kombucha? Kombucha is a fermented tea, makes Homestead. It's actually, don't compare it to tea. I always tell people when they're trying kombucha, don't think, okay, I'm going to drink this tea that everybody's telling about. You almost have to think, okay, I'm going to drink this.
Like as a punch.
Or I'm going to drink this, what's that, ginger ale, 7-Up. It's going to have more of
carbonated,
strong taste. But don't compare it to sweet tea that you're going to drink, on a Sunday afternoon with your fried chicken.
Be sure to check out my videos, y'all. I really break it down until the basics. It's really easy to do. There's so many health benefits. And to make your own Scoby is really easy to do too.
Here's what I challenge you before
if you
get
can't
into.
find one, you can make your own. In other words, is what I'm saying, and it's really easy to do. If I can do it, y'all can do it.
The thing is, it is acquired taste. You have to learn it. It reminds you of a vinegary apple cider vinegar or something. Our girls are going crazy. The best thing to do is go to Walmart, go to Publix, go to Whole Foods, go to whatever your provider is, Costco. Kavita is a brand. GT Dave's is a brand.
Smells like vinegar. It does.
What's that new brand that you tried the other day when we were in the mountains?
Oh goodness, I don't remember the name of it.
There's tons of them, and what you want to do is buy one of those. What started us on kombucha. We started drinking the Kavita pineapple peach. That was our favorite. And the more we got into drinking that one, that's when we started making our own.
Thank you, Grammy Karen, for sharing those videos.
We love it. I mean, we drink it. Our kids. I mean, JJ was just drinking it just a second.
He was actually still in the 8th cup to drink it.
Yeah.
He says he wants his booch, his bucha.
His bucha. He calls it buchi or bucha. Give me my bucha.
I have, y'all, the video coming out is cute. So when I was bottling it, he was sitting on the other side of the counter and he kept saying, "Want some bucha, Mama? Want some?" And so I kind of tried to sneak the camera around. I did get him. He wouldn't just say it anymore when he saw the camera. So I asked him, "What is this? What do you want?" And I think he said it one time. So it's cute. It was when I was bottling our kombucha today. So
we love it. It's great for your gut. And I wouldn't, if you're not used to it, don't just go and grab and drink a gallon of it because you're gonna have a bad night. You're gonna have a real bad night. But it's really good for you. It's really good. You don't have to have a gallon jar,
like
Kelly Miller.
Words.
I know.
You sound like me.
You can have a T90 jar if you want to, but the best thing to do if you're trying to make your own Scoby, Kelly, you got to buy a raw kombucha. So if you don't know anyone that has kombucha that's already got a Scoby, you need to buy GT Dave's Original. It's called Original. It's very unflavored. It's usually very expensive because everybody needs that to start their own kombucha.
All right. Well, it's unflavored, which is the important thing. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the cultures that are in that jar and you're going to give them, they're going to warm up to room temperature. Your tea is going to come down to room temperature. Then you're going to mix those together. Make sure your brewing vessel or your jar is sterilized because whatever's in there is going to grow, right? So you're going to mix those two things, and then the cultures that you have poured into that tea are going to feed off of that sugar, and they're going to start forming a really thin, slimy layer on the top. That is your Scoby, and it's going to keep growing and growing and growing until probably 3 or 4 weeks. You need to pull it out of the cabinet and check it. But all of those instructions are on those videos. I'm not sure what Grammy Karen was talking about when she said you won't be disappointed, but kombucha is very good. You won't be disappointed. Homemade, to me, like even after we bought it in the mountains, it was really good. But then you get home and you're like, man, this is so much better.
You can customize it.
Right, you can, because you can leave
using that Jalen Gar.
You can leave it and let it get as fermented as you would like, or you can pull it when it's not quite as, my kids call it sour. So is the Scoby the same thing as like a mother? Yes, because it's a culture and that is what you're feeding. Just like when you have like apple cider vinegar, you have the mother in there. It's got all of the good stuff. That's all the good stuff. So kind of like sourdough. You feed your sourdough. It's bacteria and yeast that's in there. You're feeding those so that it grows.
Lynn,
it's pretty much the same thing, but it's just a drinkable form.
You need to try it. It's really good. I mean, it's like I said, I wouldn't say, when people say it's tea, hold that term very loosely. I mean, it's tea, and it's what you make it out of, but it reminds you more of a punch, like you're going to a wedding to a punch, or to have like Missy said, ginger ale. It's going to have that kind of bubbly taste to it. So kind of compare it to that before you start drinking it or before you take the first gulp, because it's going to be very surprising to you.
And like Colby said, don't just like.
Well, that's what
stay
Ian
on
was
a
talking
whole
about.
glass. You want to start off with a little bit and work your way up.
They're sold in like I guess half quarts, which say pints.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are sold in glass. I'd definitely buy the glass ones. I wouldn't buy the plastic ones for sure. But I mean, you can drink half a bottle of that, or you can drink a bottle of that. The more you like it, the more you'll drink it. I like Jennings, being his size, we're not going to let him drink a pint of kombucha. You know, we're going to let him drink a little bit.
Though.
Yeah, he'll drink a cup easily. So, no, it doesn't taste like pickle juice. It tastes very much like a flavored
kombucha
ginger ale. I mean, I guess that's the best way.
And the awesome thing about it is, like, pineapple is my favorite. I just need one.
Yeah, diabetes. You be careful with anything that has it's diverticulitis, diabetes, any kind of what's the choleritis? Anything digestive wise is dangerous. You know,
is it bad for diabetes? If you're worried about the sugar content, the bacteria and yeast,
let it age more.
Are being the bacteria and the yeast are consuming the sugar, and you will see that as your Scoby grows.
Kelly, thank you. Hey,
the sugar content. If you're worried about the sugar content, if you feed it and then you drink it the next day, well, the bacteria and yeast is not going to have time to process all of that sugar. So, yeah, that would probably be bad for you. However, if you let it sit for, we usually take ours up around 5 days, because when it starts getting 6 to 7 days, it starts getting stronger and stronger, more and more fermented, because the bacteria has been allowed more time to process that sugar. So it's not going to be as sweet. It's going to be way more fermented and way more strong. They said, do you mean colitis?
Sure.
I would do, if you have a medical condition, I would definitely research it for you. I would definitely research before I started drinking it. But there are this is old. Like, this is nothing new. This has been done by the Chinese. I want to say it originated from China or Japan. One I read not long ago.
Kim Winkler,
that has been done for hundreds and hundreds of years. And these people hundreds and hundreds of years ago did not die from the medical conditions and cancers and stuff that we face today. So I will just tell you that.
You shaking it?
But yeah, shake it. This is what I bottled today. You're supposed to give it a light mix.
A light mix, not a shake.
Because sometimes the good stuff will settle in the bottom.
Okay.
Let's see, I just
don't open that one. These are my second ferments. We'll talk about this in another video. We can't open this
I just wanted to see if it was going to sizzle for them.
Second ferments are my favorite. So Missy likes first ferments. I like second. So we're not going to let her.
And I do all of that teaching in the videos if y'all are not familiar with that. So.
How in the world did we get on that conversation?
I have no idea.
Man.
He's not going to let you hear the psst.
No, I don't want to hear the psst, because that's what I like to drink the most. So. Second ferments are the best, by the way.
I like second ferments too, but the kids like it either way, so it's usually easier for me to just get it out and bottle it.
They like it a little bit more sweet, so they like the first ferment. We like the second ferment, you know. So. But yeah, ours can be kind of strong. We can. There's sometimes we can get ours kind of strong. Do you have the nursery ready yet?
Livy's not getting a nursery.
We got too many kids.
Jennings. By the time you get in number 6, it's like, who cares?
Just put them somewhere.
This baby don't even have a baby book. What's she talking about? She ain't getting no door hanger or nothing. All seriously, y'all. No, we really didn't do a nursery because we have 4 rooms in the back. One is dedicated strictly to school and playroom. Aiden obviously has his own room. Then I have a nursery set up for Jennings that we only changed his diaper and put his clothes on in. He has never slept one night.
That's where that larder's at, by the way.
Yes. And then all 3 girls are in the biggest.
Kim, you got it.
And then all 3 girls are in the biggest room in the back, and they of course share a bed and share a closet and all of that. So we decided for right now, she's not going to have a quote nursery because she's going to be in the room with us, in a bed beside us for at least a year, because I do usually nurse for at least a year. So she's not going to be in her room anyway. All of mine usually get up between 2 and 3 hours every single night.
We don't make sleepy kids. We make kids that like to hang out at night.
Yep. It's his fault.
It's probably my fault.
It's
my kids.
Because I like to sleep.
It is my kids.
So at least she's got a crib and not in a drawer. You're right. So she will be in our room beside us. And every 2 to 3 hours for at least a year. So there's no point in me putting her on the other side of the house. I'm not really comfortable with that idea anyway, because she will be tiny and she will be so far away from us. And even though I have a monitor, it's one of those things where I feel more comfortable knowing that she's right in there with me. I'm going to be up and down constantly anyway. So I'm like, if I can save that much time walking and sleep, then so be it. So we are gonna put her stuff in there with Jennings stuff. But eventually
she'll probably take over that room, and then Jennings will have no room, I would imagine. He'll be in with AA.
We're not 100% sure what we're going to do yet as far as the kids. He will likely go in with Aiden, and then we'll see. I don't know. We might just put her in the room with the girls, but we would have to have at least another. Yes, bunk beds would be a must. We saw that, and we would have to have at least one more dresser or drawer for clothing, because 4 girls in a room. Yeah.
And we finished the fence. The fence is going great because it's finished. Yeah, I'm so glad it's finished. Oh my gosh.
He put so many T-posts in the ground, y'all.
I can't even remember
so much
how many I did.
Wire.
I lost count it. Oh gosh, I can't even remember. I'm glad it's
there's
done.
Walker Farm Fam.
What's up, Walker Farm Fam? So the fence is done. We actually have bulls on one side, and then we let the jerseys go out and eat for a little bit on the other side. I need their fertilization there, so I need them to pop a few squats in that ground.
Sandy, that is nice. Awesome. Mine never slept 16 hours out of 24 hours.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, just the whole day, they would never sleep that. Mine are very nosy. They like to sit up and see what's going on. They want to check it out. They don't want to go to sleep. They don't.
Kim, Aiden's already said, she said, we need to build Aiden a tiny house. Aiden's already said, I told him, I said, I'm trying to talk them all to live on the farm. So they were all like, well, if you build us houses, we'll all live here. So Harley and Aiden's already kind of scoped out where they want to put their tiny cabins. So I told him, I said, I'll build them. We'll build them. We got plenty of years to build them. So I can start building them now.
That's funny, y'all. Yeah, we did have some that have not slept through the night until they were much older. Actually, I think Ellie is finally sleeping through the night now. Yeah. She hadn't come in our room in several months. So
Lynette Garris,
we have someone there.
How many acres would you suggest per cow? Okay, conventional, ½ acre per calf, 1 acre per cow, 2 acres per bull. That is conventional. I know. What? Oh yeah, we do. Oh yeah, we have to give soap away. That's why all these people are actually here. It's not because we're cool.
And crazy. It smells. Oh, it smells so good. So, I can never pick a favorite.
And let me say that again. I mean, whoever asked me about the land, I'm sorry. Who was I addressing? Oh, Lynette. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. I'm sorry. It's past my bedtime. So. Now, let's talk about us. We probably have about a ½ acre per cow. And the reason we do that is because we move them because we're in a rotation. So if you're doing intense rotational grazing, you can go past conventional. Just make sure you have good grass.
Thank you, Miss Darlene. That's what I would smell amazing. That's my favorite thing is the smell and the scrub. Oh, I just love it.
Darlene asked how many kids we have. Too many. No, I'm joking. That was a joke. Just calm down. Don't call the law. I was just joking. We have 5 and 1 on the way.
And she will be here in about 6 weeks. So, okay. So, our soap giveaway, this is what we're going to do. Y'all will have to guess some numbers. And whoever gets the closest to the number or the number without going over will win. If you have a P.O. box, you can drop it on here and I will jot it down. I did get a pen. If you do not have a P.O. box and you don't want to put your physical address on there, what you will need to do is find me on Facebook, the Max. Well, I know one of our moderators can drop that link on there so y'all can easily find us. And then you will need to direct message me your physical address so that I can get it shipped to you, especially if you're not local to us. So, on your marks, get set, go. 1 to 800. Pick a number, random number, any number. Whoever gets the closest one that I see without going over will win. So you know the number. Help me look. Whoever is the closest without going over or gets the number. Oh, wow, these are coming through way too fast.
Oh, let's go to the phone. Let's go to the phones.
Let's go to the phones. You go to the phones just to make sure that I don't miss it.
Do, 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 do. I see one close.
Yeah, nobody has gotten it yet, though. So we're watching. Y'all can guess more than once. We're watching. Just,
One was real close. Mm-hmm. That one's probably been the closest so far.
Whoa,
right there.
Whoa.
That's the closest. Nobody's hit it on, but that's the closest.
Okay, scroll and just make sure that nobody actually got the number. Oh, they start going so fast. I can't keep up with them, y'all.
All right, so let's give a cutoff. In 10 seconds, we're going to cut off, and we'll get whoever's the closest because I'm blowing my own mind here.
Dude, this is hard.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Get your numbers in. All right. Now, holy moly.
Okay. All right. We're going to cut it off. We're going to cut it off right here.
Oh, my gosh.
So, let's do this.
Hold on. That's going to show up different than ours. So, I said start over. No, I'm joking. That's a joke. That's a joke. So let me go back to the one I knew we saw.
That's right. Grammy Karen said cut off. So we're going to have to cut it off right there. And Colby's going to go back through the numbers. I'm going to tell y'all what the number is.
Hold on. You can't tell yet.
There was one that was really close.
Got to find the swamp of numbers here. That's going to be that one. That's going to be the closest. All right, so hold on. Let me just... You got that one just in case. I don't even know if I remember the number after I've seen them so many times.
I remember the number.
She's still the closest, correct?
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure one more time.
From where Grammy Karen said stop.
We don't want to falsify our numbers during election season. We're going to make sure this is right.
Oh, my gracious.
No recounts, not going through the night. We're going to be on it.
All right. Do we have a winner? Are you down to Grammy Karen's where she said
not
stop?
Yet. I'm waiting on. I'm almost there.
All right. Colby's just double checking. We are double checking our numbers, y'all. We need a certification, she said. I think that one was the closest.
Be the closest. That one's pretty close too. But. All right, it looks like
she said. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the winner is going to be the Tinkerer's Wife.
Can y'all see that? That's not a 6; it's a 2.
That's right. It's 281. She got 278. So unless you got 279, 280, or 281. Please tell me if you did, because I might have missed you.
I think 278 was the winner.
278. We will not have a recount. Both sides were represented well here. So, the Tinkerer's Wife, I think you won it. So reach out to us via.
If you don't have a post office that you want to drop, find us on Facebook so I can get your mailing.
You don't have to put it on here. Just email it to us, or. However, the best way to get
that was fun, but y'all, that was a little mind blowing there for a minute. All those numbers would come through so fast. That was kind of hard.
Yeah, Grammy Karen, thank you so much. Tinkerer's Wife.
Yes,
there's our email that Grammy Karen put on. email that so that way we can get you some soap sent.
Yes.
It's actually True Soap. We'll send soap.
What else would it be?
It could be just something that says soap. So I figured just let you know it's really soap.
And we actually, Miss Darlene got her soap this week in the mail.
She Mr. Douglas, which is a big follower of ours, he got his this week as well.
Yep, that we shipped out. And she commented on there several times that she loved her orange soap. And
Lynette, we do. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So Lynette, we do have soap. You can email that same email if you're interested in soap. It is there for purchase.
Yes, if you will send me your email and just tell me your name, I will email you back and tell you the information, how much it is, what it comes with. that was cute. So anyway, yes, Piper Homestead. I'm sold out of lavender, but I do have eucalyptus. Lemongrass is limited. Peppermint and orange. I still do have those left. I don't have an Etsy shop, y'all. This is the thing with us on Etsy is
they take too big of a percentage.
They really do.
So then we would have to go up on price, and we don't want to do that.
My thing is this: I sell them in 3-bar bundles like this, and if I go up any more to cover Etsy, because I'm making some off of this, but it's not like, I guess, a product where it's barely in it, because you've got to do your oils are very expensive. Pure essential oils are very expensive.
These are organic, made with all organic oils too.
Yes. So, and I'm very funny about that. And some of my customers are too. So I use the purest, most natural ingredients, and they're $15 a bundle, and they're 3 bundle. I sell them in 3 bundles, and
3 bars a bundle.
Yes, I don't know what I just said. But anyway, so I use all pure. So then if you factor in that Etsy's taking a part of that, and I'm having to charge people the wazoo for shipping. I hate shipping. Sometimes it's just, you just have to. But with all that being said, I don't feel like it's fair for my customers. So I've tried to stay out of Etsy. I've tried to stay out of the places that take up a percentage, because I don't feel like it's fair for my customers to have to pay all of those extra fees. So what I have always done is I have told a lot of my YouTube followers that have been following us and that have asked about
$15 a bundle, Kim,
is to find me on Facebook, and you can read all about it.
You have the ingredients listed just so they know. It's on the video, right?
Lye and water mixture. It's coconut oil,
organic coconut oil,
olive oil, pure olive oil, essential oil, ground up oatmeal, and castor oil. That's the ingredients.
So there's not much at all.
So, but the thing about it goes back to, like I said,
clean.
Your oils, if you start looking at organic coconut oil and then your pure therapeutic grade essential oils, just those ingredients are expensive. And we don't have anywhere near us, we don't have any hardware store, any store that sells lye.
Lye's went up crazy.
So lye is not very cheap either. So I said all that to say, I just don't feel like it's fair for my customers to have to pay even more for charges on things like Etsy, and what are some of the other ones that are out there?
Any online window shopping. So we usually use it off eBay.
So what I do is, when I make my soap and I have extra orders, I go to my Facebook page and I put it out there. And that way it just kind of cuts out that extra cost. And I feel like that's just fair to do. So
that is correct, Connie and Justin's. Yes. We shipped one to another place in Oregon to Miss Darlene. Roughly, shipping is going to be anywhere from $4 to $7, depending on what your order is.
Depends on the weight. Yeah. So if I have somebody that buys 1 bundle, it's usually $5 or $6. If they buy 2 bundles, it's usually $8 or a little bit more, give or take. So that's just what we've always done. Like I said, that just cuts out kind of that extra middle. I've always done it on Facebook. So I've told a lot of the YouTube guys, to jump on over into my Facebook world and find me there. I post a lot of my stuff there.
Life.
I take a lot of my orders
Be
there.
careful.
Just because it cuts out that middleman expense. What did it say?
Do you ever do unscented? Somebody asked you ever. We have not.
I typically don't. My next adventure I want to play around with is charcoal. Doing a charcoal base that I probably will not scent that. But I have to do a lot of research on LYE and charcoal.
Someone said, "Hey, girls."
What is it called? Compatibility. Just to make sure they're compatible, because one of the things that I've had to do with essential oils is your LYE is very iffy. So I had to do a lot of research to make sure that my essential oils are compatible, because there's this whole process that you have to watch. She's so silly. There's re-soaping, where you shred it down and you can add all kinds of rebatch. Where you have
we don't do colored
it.
soaps or not. It's too much.
I do very basic, as natural as ingredients as you can get. So anyway, I do have a lot of allergies to essential oils. I try to stick to the basics. Lavender, peppermint, orange, lemongrass, and I added
eucalyptus would be one you could probably.
I added a new eucalyptus this year, and it has done very well. Actually, I was a little nervous when I was making it, because I didn't want it to be overpowering, and I also didn't want it to be not enough where it was almost unscented. But I think it's
Big Dave. Happy
I think it's pretty good, because I used a bar and it wasn't too strong, but it was you could get that nice eucalyptus. So I was very pleased with how it turned out.
Eucalyptus reminds me of some people kind of cross as like, I don't get that. It's more of just a clean smell of that, and lemongrass come across as clean. Orange comes across as refreshing. Lang Lang, we've done Lang Lang. Lang Lang reminds me a little bit more of
I actually like it too.
I do. I mean, I don't get masculine. Misty's the one who said that. I actually love Lang Lang, the smell of Lang Lang.
But I like it too.
Yeah. But
I don't have any of that for sale. I just made that for us. And because like I said, it goes back to the LYE process. When you start adding stuff to LYE,
it can get crazy.
It can either make or break your soap. So you have to be really careful with your compatibility there. So playing around with it.
We might be buffering. Are we buffering, guys?
Playing around with it, the Lang Lang worked. I liked it. I liked the way it smelled. I liked the way it turned out. It did remind me of a little bit more of a Manzi, to where the
Manzi. That's a new word. Like that one. Hey, Hat Creek.
To where I feel like the orange and the lemongrass would be more womensy.
Womensy. That's a good one too. All right. I think we're buffering a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and shoot off here, because we've been on for an hour anyway. So thank you so much for coming on. We went from every subject that we were going to talk about, we messed up and talked about everybody else's subject. So kombucha, if you hadn't drank kombucha, it's good for you. In the words of Jennings, he calls it booch or boochie. So just go get you some boochie. No peeing at ball games. That's another thing we discussed tonight. So nobody pee at ball games. Hey, Latoya from Costa Rica. Thank you. So the main thing is, we hope you enjoyed this live. It was all over the place.
Yes, it was. But we enjoyed talking to y'all as always, and reading, catching up on y'all. I think that's awesome. Where can we order the soap? Find me on Facebook. Let me know who you are, and I can. That sounds like a fool. We can send you information on the soap, what scents I have, the pricing, all of that. You guys just need to let me know. I am sold out of lavender, but if you guys can find me on Facebook, I can take your orders there.
Also, Tinker's Wife, look us up. Shout us out so we can get you taken care of for your soap order. There will not be a recount, so you are the winner. So if you will reach out to us via email, we'll get you taken care of on your soap.
Can you use coconut sugar to make kombucha? I am not 100% sure.
You should be able to.
You should be able to, as long as the bacteria and the yeast. I know if you use honey, they call it jus. So that might change it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure.
Test it out. I mean, there's nothing you can't.
I would definitely, I would research it, but as long as the bacteria and the yeast have something to eat, I would think that it would be okay. But I would definitely research it before I did it.
Thank you guys so very much for coming on. We had a blast tonight. Y'all threw your numbers at it, blew our minds. Thank you so very much. But we'll do more giveaways because y'all hung with us a lot longer.
Yep, sure did.
Thank you guys so very much. And what do we say?
Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all.
She's going to get it in every time. Every video. If you see her, I'm just going to say this. She's going to get that in.
Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all.
God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.